welcome back. We actually have a bit of a short announcement video today. There will be more magic tomorrow, I promise, but I wanted to ask you guys a couple of things. And for the YouTube side, I wasn't quite sure how best to do that. On Twitch, it's super easy. I just fire up the stream and talk to people in real time, but I thought a short little video so that way the YouTube community can also chime in on some of the decisions that we're making. First and foremost is a new podcast that we're working on. It will be posted here on YouTube, so you won't need to go anywhere else to get it. But it is a live podcast with Melissa Del Toro. She is an amazing member of R&D for Wizards. She creates the cards that we all know and love. She's one of the lead designs for Casual Play, which is EDH. She was also one of the first and only female content creators to really make it onto that pro train, which is super exciting. And she has a lot of things to share and offer. So we're going to be starting a new podcast that is charity based. So what does that mean? It means every single week we're going to be doing a 30-ish minute podcast talking about a topic of magic chosen by the community. So this means you guys will be able to submit topics like London Mulligan rule versus Vancouver Mulligan rule, or, limited gameplay. Why is this way? Why is this that way? And it should be really, really interesting. You guys can ask questions about being women in magic, being content creators, being members of R&D, competitive gameplay. There's a lot of things to unpack there, and every single penny that we make for ad revenue will go towards a charity each month that you guys will again get to vote on each month. So this is something we are really, really excited about. We've been having a little bit of difficulties because the first two names that we picked out that Melissa was really jazzed about actually were taken. So first it was Ristic Buddies, which is another podcast, I believe a Brazilian EDH podcast. And then we picked out the Mana Dorks, which is a dead podcast that hasn't been active for a little over a year, but still just the same, the name is taken. So the first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to ask for you guys to leave a comment on this video with some name recommendations for our podcast. Force of Goodwill and things like that have been recommended. We were looking for something kind of quippy and something kind of unique that would show that it's a magic podcast, possibly show that it's a charity podcast, and kind of get the message across. So if you guys have any good ideas, please, I encourage you to post them down below in the comment section because we need help naming this podcast. The second thing that you guys can leave down below in the comment section is any charity that you feel passionate about. And what we're going to do every single month is we will pick a few charities and do a Twitter poll, do a poll here on YouTube, and let the community decide where all of the funds go that month. We won't be getting any sponsorships. Melissa and I will not be getting paid for this podcast in any way. We won't be asking for additional Patreon subs because with Melissa working for Wizards, we aren't really interested in having any sort of income, but I feel like we have a lot to share and we want to do a lot of good work. So please help us name our podcast. And also if you guys have any charities that you feel very passionately about or that affect you directly, feel free to put them down below in that comment section and we will peruse them and put up a set of charities each month for you guys to vote on, and all of the money we raise through that ad revenue will go to that. I also believe that there will be possibly donations that happen during the podcast and on the podcast videos people can donate. Now, I've never gotten a donation through a YouTube video before, but if we happen to, that money would also go to the charity. All right, so that's the first announcement. The second announcement is that DGen Gaming is doing very, very well. We are starting to run more and more tournaments. So this is a little bit different. I know most of you guys who are here are interested in just limited gameplay and arena gameplay, but we are running tournaments on Melee more than once per month. We do a big open, which is usually on arena, but we're also doing supporter events. And the team recently got sponsored by Card Hoarder, and they are giving us cash prize pools for us to put on Pioneer events. So if you guys are interested in anything like that, I'll put the link down below for the DGen Pioneer. You guys can rent decks super cheap. I think it's like 2%. And then you guys can play in these really fun events. So I'll put a link to the next event, but you can also just check out the DGen and TCG Studios page if you would like to participate in any of these events. For example, the next big one on June 26th is going to be an open where anytime you beat a DGen, you get Ultra Pro gift cards and all sorts of stuff. The last open, we had Ollie Eldrazi do coverage. The one before that, we had Brad Nelson do coverage. And there's a ton of like giveaways and door prizes. And we're just doing what we can to, provide a cool, fun, safe place for people to play Magic and enjoy the game. So there will be links to this tournament as well if you guys are interested. The next thing I wanted to touch on briefly is the month of June. DGen Gaming, this is something I am heading up myself. We are doing a fundraiser for the Trevor Project. I'm probably on a bad side here, but we have a few different members who are interested. This is not updated. So the DGen Gaming team members, we just started the page today and we're not starting officially until June. So we haven't raised any money yet. But if this is a thing that you guys are passionate about or would like to get involved in, we're going to be hosting a charity tournament. We're going to be hosting fun events, and a lot of the DGen members will be getting involved in this. So though nothing will officially start happening until June, I will go ahead and put the link to our pages there. And if you guys are, feeling generous and would like to contribute and change a lot of people's lives for the better, consider the DGen Gaming charity of the month. And I do hope you guys will get involved and join us for some of the big events. And getting involved could be actually really lucrative because we have partnered up with Ultra Pro, who have given us a ton of product. A lot of those sold out LGBTQ playmats. I have a big pile of them to give out to people who participate in the events and join in for the charity nonsense. So I appreciate you guys checking that out. All right, so we talked about the new podcast. We talked about the Trevor Project. We talked about all the DGen Gaming tournaments that I know I talk a lot about on Twitch, and all of my viewers are well aware of all those things and can get involved if they want, but I wanted to share it with you guys. The last thing I wanted to just briefly mention, because I don't usually talk about this in my videos, regardless of whether or not they're from YouTube or from Twitch or made for YouTube specifically, I very rarely ask for any sort of the memberships here on Twitch or even Patreon stuff. So I did want to let you guys know that I do have a Patreon. It is down below in the links below. And if you guys sign up, there is a tier there where I actually send you guys tokens and stuff. And our new Hamlet token is coming out soon. We have a rough sketch from the artist, and this will be the next thing sent out to the DGens. This is our Hammy treasure token. I'm really, really excited about it. It's super adorable. As you can see, I get a lot of Hammy art just from a day-to-day basis. And this is going to be an amazing thing that we're working on. And if you guys are interested in something like this, a little keepsake, then make sure you guys check out the Patreon. It helps me create all the content that you guys see here on YouTube. And I honestly couldn't continue to make content if it wasn't for the generous people who have signed up in the past. So I know this wasn't a very fun video, but I do try to keep, a lot of the ads and bonus things out of my general content. So I do hope you guys will forgive me. For those of you guys who care enough about this kind of stuff that made it to the end of the video, I really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. And don't forget to leave me a comment for those podcast ideas. I want to hear from you. I need to hear from you because Melissa and I have no interesting, unique, or original ideas. So I'm hoping you will. Thank you guys again for watching and for participating. And I'll see you guys for tomorrow for some more magic. Love you guys. See you tomorrow.